be saying that a lot. I'm going to be saying that a lot. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm going to get everybody. Just got to wait for myself to pop up here and go. Good morning. And then we will. How a Chinese chef cooks. No. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. All right, let's F11 this. And let's pop out the chat. Make sure it's cinema mode. Okay, where's my chat? There's my chat. Where did it go? Restore chat. I'm not quite awake here, guys. There we go. Hi. Now, if you want me to say hello and call out your name, please make sure you're saying hello in chat. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to get in. It is time for me to wake and bake. I hope everybody had a good sleep. I'm pretty sure I did. If you haven't noticed, the kids didn't come this weekend. Hey, everybody say hello, or say how your morning's been or whatever in the chat, so I can have you on. I have a lot of these fans, Lacey. I have a lot of these fans, and it is gorgeous. I do love it. It goes with my ears, you see. Excuse me. Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. I know you have a lot, but that one is just gorgeous. Definitely my favorite fan. Well, then we have pink. And gold. And this is the one that goes with my turquoise ears. I like fans. I've always liked fans. I don't know why. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. In a little while, Howard's going to be taking me to, now I got to get it out of my eye, Giant Tiger, because he bought me grapefruits instead of oranges. And I have to get oranges because I'm making scones this week. I make cranberry orange scones and blueberry lemon scones. The blueberry lemon are Howie's favorite. The cranberry orange are mine. Who's going to the lung doctor? Well, the common misconception about what I just did behind the fan and cigarettes is that cigarettes have up to over 500 different chemicals. One of them, or several of them, is to give it a smooth delivery system so you don't choke and cough when you take when you puff on a cigarette, right? I could light a cigarette right now and go, I'll take a great big inhale and it wouldn't do a thing to me except get me high. Literally, cigarettes would get me high on that first puff. Problem is they're so loaded with it's nicotine. There's tar, there's nicotine, and then there's like 500 chemicals. What I use for medication, or what I have been qualified to use for medication, is organic. And there is no chemicals in it. None sprayed on it, none used to make it bigger, no fertilizers, nothing. And there is no nicotine in that, and there is no chemicals in that. There's only tar. And yes, one of those equates probably 14 cigarettes in tar. But let me tell you something. When I quit smoking, I was smoking 2.5 packs a day for 26 years. Okay? Does not equate to one king size one of medication a day. Not even close. Not even close. You're going to the lung doctor, Frida? Hey, the Gulf of Mexico. Corey, one of these days I'm just going to go with you, even though I hate the thought of a cruise ship. Because as far as I know, they're just party places. And I don't really party, and I don't drink alcohol. So I'd rather go to Vegas, where I can really party. How's it going, honey? Are you enjoying it? How's the weather? Ours is mild and gray. All right, let me pop out the chat now that we've all said hello. And wow, we haven't all said hello because there's only like 12 people here. Chloe Cat, Corey C, Frida Cassidy, JM, Lacey Black, Linda Bop, hello darling. It is way too early for Seashell. Lori Lazor, Susan Fain, Sweet Sipper, and Teresa Pomerlo. So what's everybody doing today? Hi, Waldo. Sandra King. See, you're supposed to say hi when you first get in here, so you're on the list. Corey the Cruising Man. Corey the Cruising Man. Good stuff. So, yay! Good for you, sweet Melissa. Hi, Trudy W, Claire. Do you ever wish your name had been Clara rather than Claire? I often wish my name had been something other than Beverly. I don't know how many people actually really like their name. I've never liked my name, Beverly. I would rather have been, I don't know, but hey, how's it going? So anyway, hi, Matthew. How are you, darling? We haven't seen you in a bit. So in a little while, hi, Joe. Hey, baby. I got your Christmas card. Thank you very much. And it was very lovely and appropriate. Thank you, Joe. I wish mine was anything but Janet. That's why I don't use my full name. Well, it could be worse. We could all have the name Karen right now. I have two sister-in-laws named Karen. My brother's married to a Karen, and one of Howie's sisters is a Karen. Everyone always ends up calling me Jennifer, though. Really? Dita! What's your first name? Cindy's home to stay. One of my friends' name is Karen, and she really hates that now, right? Because everyone goes, Karen, right? It is Dita. I think that's a great name. What's wrong with Dita? It's at least, do you like my Northern Lights on the back wall? It's too bad it's always a night theme, though, eh? Jess mostly. I wish that I was Jesse's girl. Do. No. I wish that I had Jesse's girl. Do. Where can I find a woman like that? I'm sorry. I'm not quite awake yet. Did I say it right or wrong? Is it Dieta? Hey, Alicia from sunny California. Yellow bird. You like Beverly? I hate it. It's spelled with, and there's another constant thorn in my side. It's spelled Ley. One of my friends is Camilla. Oh, that's a pretty name, but I call her Dr. Camilla. She worked too many years to get that PhD. Well, that's a good idea. I mean, that's honoring them every time you say it, right? Dieta. Okay. So, because we see DEE, but then there's a double T. Because if that was Dita, it would be DEETA. But the two T's make one of those E's soft, so it's Dieta. That makes perfect sense. You knew you said as soon as you sent it. Oh, that's okay, sweetheart. That's okay. That's all right. My husband knows how to spell my name. That's what's really important. I don't even know if my kids know how to properly spell my name. I really don't. Exactly, Linda. Just like that. You're baking fortune cookies. Am I one of those only am I one of the only people who eats fortune cookies when they get Chinese food? Because I love fortune cookies. They're crunchy, slightly sweet, and they mind you, in a few weeks, I'm losing this tooth and these four right here. And so I'm going to look like somebody. I should start a new channel called Ask Granny. Ask Granny. Practical advice from Granny. And then I'll take questions. And you just ask me anything. But I'll have to look more the part. I love them. Boyfriend of my mom do not, which means more for us. Exactly. Howie's never been fussy on fortune cookies. Never been fussy on there goes my screen. So I have to go to Giant Tiger and get some oranges, or at least 2 oranges. And then, so one day this week, I'm going to be live making scones. Hey, Sandra. How's it going, sweetheart? So we're planning on going down to visit the kids on the 23rd. And I had a brainstorm. I have to talk to my other son first because I don't know when their Christmas family dinner is. I don't know if it's Christmas Eve or the 23rd. I think it's the 23rd because it's a Saturday. And I guess maybe people are going to come from out of town or whatever. But hi, Michelle Jones. Now, Claudia is a beautiful name. Claudia is a beautiful name. I had a really lovely friend when I was going to Sir Sanford Fleming College, upgrading. I spent a whole summer learning how to do math above the grade 9 level because I was never good at math. Now math is just. But anyway, but I got to phone my son and find out when their big Christmas dinner is. It's either Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve. And if it's the day before Christmas Eve, Briard isn't working on Christmas Eve. So if they want to, we can pick him up at like 8 in the morning and be in Kingston by like noon. Do takeout on Christmas Eve. Visit with the kids, do their presents. And then we could be home by 6 o'clock. We stay there till 2. Stay there for 3 hours. Have a lovely visit. And then come home and watch TV and go to bed and wake up and have Christmas. Doing good. Done the cookies. Now I can do sewing. I finally got everything cleaned except my floors. So I'm one step closer. I've just got to, and I was so mad. I deep cleaned the living room. I haven't washed the floors yet, but I rolled up the rug. I vacuumed and swept, and I vacuumed the rug. I cleaned out my bay window before We put the tree up. I dusted the piano. I dusted the TV stand. I changed the cloth on the TV stand. I put a Christmas blanket on the couch. And then Gracie took a piece of firewood and laid right in the middle of the rug and chewed it all up. Went to the Christmas thrift sale yesterday. What's a Christmas thrift sale? Found a book, Christmas on Jane Street. My mom named me Jane because we lived on Jane Street. Oh, that's throwback. Jane. That's lovely. Who wouldn't want to have a book about the street you like, Christmas on Jane Street? That is amazing. That is amazing. Hi, Stephanie. So I'm gonna phone I gotta phone and see how Mel's feeling, but I'm gonna ask them, do they want us to come down on the 23rd, or do they want us to come down on the Sunday, on Christmas Eve, earlier in the day, and we'll be gone before supper, long before supper. We'll go from 11 till say 2 or 3, and then we'll be home in time to watch a movie and go to bed. Hey, Alice, how's it going? How is the weather down in the Gulf of Mexico? Isn't it like stormy, or isn't there a storm coming or something? So, yeah, I'm making scones this week. And heads up for my folks on Rumble, I'm going to be making medicated snowballs because I made my butter yesterday. So that's looking up on my new Cooking with Cannabis channel on Rumble. Has some stuff in it, but it does have how to make the butter. So I'm going to be making shortbread for that channel this week. This week starts my holiday. I'm wrapping presents this week. I'm making scones and cookies this week. We have blue skies today. I may be making those snowballs live, by the way, while videotaping the thing. We had wonderful rain since yesterday on the eastern part of Florida. Oh, good. Hi, Whitney. How's it going? Hey, Allison. Hey. I was named after St. Teresa, the Little Rose. Aww. I was named after my parents' best friends, the wife of my parents' best friends. They were called Dawn and Bev. And they had Dawn, her husband, had a really rough adulthood. His first family, they were driving down a country road and they didn't see the train coming. And when he did see it, because when you cross the train tracks, sometimes there's only this, right? And you don't even think about it. Sometimes you can't see or hear anything coming because there's trees. But anyway, he saw the train coming at the last minute and turned away, and the train hit the passenger side of the car and killed his wife and family. So years later, my dad told me about that. And then he met Bev and they got married, but they couldn't have children. And because my parents were blue collar workers, or my dad was a blue collar worker, and it seemed like my mom was having a baby every 3 years, which she was. There was one missing between my brother Bill and my brother Bob. As far as I know, my mom lost a baby there. But they wanted to adopt one of my brothers, because in their eyes, there was 5 of us, and my parents were always having trouble making ends meet. That's why my eldest brother and sister went out to work when they were in high school. They would go and work nights, come home, get to bed at 1 a.m, get up at 7 to go to school, and then go straight from school to work and blah, 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 blah. And they turned over their paychecks to my mom. But anyway, I was named after Dawn's wife, Bev. And Then they offered to adopt one of my brothers, and the relationship went sour because my parents felt it was, not only was it an insult that they couldn't care for their children, it was an insult for the fact that they would give any one of them up, right? Hey, Christina Burleson. Hi, honey. It's sunny and cool here in Louisiana. Chanel, it's good to have you back. We didn't like just browsing. We like Chanel. So that's where I got my name, right? Because I asked who I was named after and they told me, and I said, why don't I know these people? Right? Because, the relationship got severed after that. So, but my dad wanted his first child to be a girl named Linda, and he got me. Love my name. There you go. I had a friend once. Actually, I dated a guy whose sister. I went to school with his sister, and I seem to date a lot. Girlfriends are really good for having older brothers, right? Anyway, she told me the story of how her name was Tracy, and when she was her mother was really, really pregnant, and the neighbors had no kids, and they were getting up there, and they said, if you name her Stacy, we will leave everything to her. And they named her Tracy because, I mean, what is it about a parent that wants to have the final word at the expense of everything, right? I was going to be Felicia, but my mom's sister had her baby first, so then she chose Jessica. I love the name Jessica. I love the name Jessica. I have a niece, Jessica, and I was telling this to Arthur yesterday. We were talking on the phone, and I said, I was explaining. I said he phoned me because he was worried that I was upset. Not upset that they weren't coming, upset that I might have sounded like I was telling them I didn't want them to come. And I said, no, my whole point of saying maybe we should put this off is not just because everybody's been sick, but also because I want to be the last person that is the reason for people stressing about getting a visit in. I'm cool. We'll do it. We'll come. It's easier for us, right? Anyway, I was telling him, and he said, no, Mom. He said, that's why I called you. I want you to know that absolutely none of this there's no negative connotations whatsoever on this decision for you. Absolutely not. My folks had an agreement that Mom named the boys and Dad named the girls. I supposed to be a boy. Name got picked out of a baby book by my dad closing his eyes and pointing. But Melissa is also a beautiful name. Right? What was I talking about just before that? Right. So we were having a nice discussion, and I was telling him, it's really funny because we talked for about a half an hour, and I told him about the grapefruits that Howie brought home in place of oranges. And I've eaten one grapefruit. I mean, I can only take them so much. They're really hard on my stomach. It's fine now, but in school there was always 3 or 4 Jessica, so I always had to choose Jess. Now my neighbor is called Jess on Facebook, so I'm like, well, I'll go back to Jessica in the neighborhood. My mom was convinced Matthew, my mom was convinced I was a girl and wanted to name me Angela Dawn. Wow, that's a lovely name. But I like Matthew too. See, I got such a big family, most names are there, right? But right, so I was talking to Arthur, and I was telling him that about my great aunt Jessie. And I said, I had gone up to visit I'd taken the bus. I was like 7 months pregnant. I had taken the bus to go up and visit my sister and her family in Peterborough. And then I took the bus from Peterborough to Apsley to visit my dad, and Dad picked me up. And as soon as I got off the bus and I had, a bag and somebody come rushing. It was, God rest your soul, my sister's friend. Isn't that funny? I think it's Anne. I can't remember her name. But she saw me. She come rushing out of the store and she grabbed my stuff and said, "What are you doing trying to cross an icy street? Da 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 da, carrying da da da." God love her, eh? Got me into the truck with Dad, said Merry Christmas, and away she went. So, Dad, I spent a few days with Dad, and I then went to go home because I was living in Toronto at my brother's place, my one brother's place at the time. And Dad said, "I'm going to drive you back." Now, for my dad hated Toronto because he was a light repairman for the Toronto Hydro until he retired after his heart attack. And driving in Toronto is one of the most effed up places to, well, it's not if you know where you're going. One good thing about Toronto, like Oshawa's worse, but Toronto itself is built on a north, south, east, west grid. So it's kind of easy if you know it, but there's one-way streets everywhere. Anyway, my dad said, "Oh, I'm going to drive you home." I said, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, I don't want you riding on the bus." He said, "The bathroom, you may not be able to get through the bathroom," because he was convinced I added 6 inches to my waist for the few days that I was there, that baby was just popping. So on our way home, or on our way, I've told you the story, right? I told you the story about how my dad was a gentleman. But he found being sentimental very, very difficult. He always left that stuff up to my mom. But he was a loving gentleman. But he was scary looking. He looked like he had a perma frown, right? So anyway, we're driving along. And a song came on. "Grandpa, tell me about the good old days when the lines between right and wrong didn't seem so hazy." And I was singing away and the sun was shining. This kind of had a repeat performance with my brother a month later, my brother Bill a month later. And my dad looked at me because he had the radio on. He never used the radio in his truck, but he had it on. He let me put it on so it wasn't too loud. And I was singing to it. And he looked at me and his eyes watered. And I said, "What?" And he goes, "My baby's having a baby." And I went, "Don't you dare do this to me right now. Right? Don't you? I love you, Daddy." Right? My father was, "Hi, Diane." "Hey, KB. Read. Laura, sup? Sup, Laura?" So anyway, we went from there, and he said, "Do you want to go straight to Bob and Kathy's, or do you want to go with me to visit Aunt Jessie?" I said, "Really? Yeah." And I said, "Where does she live?" He said, "She's in a home now." Right? And my Aunt Jessie was almost completely blind. She was almost completely blind. Like, I'm sure she saw light and stuff, but she couldn't see, and that really well. So we went to visit her, and my brother Bill was convinced that my great Aunt Jessie was my dad's cousin. She wasn't. She was my dad's aunt. She was the baby of the family, like me. And I told Arthur, I was telling Arthur all this. I said, "So we went to visit Aunt Jessie." He said, "So you're saying this is Granddad's aunt?" I said, "Yes, my great aunt, your great great aunt." And she felt my tummy, and I said, "If it's a boy, I'm naming him Arthur." And she said, "Oh, that's a beautiful name, and he's going to be a handsome young man." And there's a picture somewhere of me and Dad and Aunt Jessie, and me pregnant. So I told Arthur all about that, and he said, "Wow." He said, "I didn't know we had any relatives on Granddad's side." I said, "She was the last." Right? "Hey, baby. Are you getting along?" "Okay." You just sounded a little stressed when I called you. What's going on? Any problems? You need anything at Home Depot? Damn. Hey, Aces. So anyway, hi, Rebecca. Diane, hey, hey, hey. So anyway, I was telling Arthur all these stories, all this in this half-hour conversation. But anyway, I was telling him how he accidentally bought small grapefruits because somebody had changed the sign and said navel oranges. And so they were pink grapefruits. I said, I can't use these. Arthur said, oh, I said, he brings me home orange or grapefruits instead of oranges. Oh, Arthur goes, oh, I love some grapefruit. I said, I know you do. And he goes, yeah, I guess you would. I said, no, I remember your first taste of grapefruit. And he goes, really? I said, yes, it was at Granddad's. We were visiting at Granddad's. And my dad always drank grapefruit juice to take his pills in the morning. So, of course, Arthur, being Arthur, being a toddler, he was up at the crack of stupid. And I was having a cup of tea at the table, and it was like a little galley kitchen, right? And I could watch, and Granddad went to get his little juice glass of grapefruit juice, and Arthur followed him, and he looked. So Granddad took his pills, drank his juice, and he looked at Arthur and said, what, you want some? And Arthur, put up his hand like, yeah. And I said, Dad, don't give him because it was unsweetened. I said, Dad, don't give him grapefruit juice. You'll make him sick. And Dad said, if he wants grapefruit juice, he can have grapefruit juice. He was like 2, not even 2. And he gave him this little shot glass of unsweetened grapefruit juice. And Arthur just went, and so I know, I mean, how many 2-year-olds are going to drink straight grapefruit juice, right? What's a pomelo? Oh, I love pomelos too. And you know what I love best is I can see it in my head, but the word is gone. Howie, what's that red fruit I like? Pomegranates. I haven't had a pomegranate in a couple of years, so a pomelo is it looks like a grapefruit, but it's kind of like a cross between an orange and a grapefruit. Who is sniffing at the door? So I had a lovely visit with Arthur yesterday, so on the phone, but hang on a second, somebody wants. So where you go? Hey, nothing in there for you. Yeah, come here. Over here. No, we're not playing this game. See, she thinks she's camera shy. She doesn't like being on camera. Gracie, my dude, come here. Come on. You gotta say hi, because she. There's a garbage bag there. It's not gonna jump out and bite you. Now look right here. Oh my goodness! Look over here, Grace. Look. Oh, there. She deigned to give a glance to you. Your mama, baby. Did you have a good sleepless, Mom? When I woke up, you were gone. That means Daddy was up. Was my fire going when you got up? Good. I got up at 5 and had some toast and eggs and went back to bed. What are you sniffing on my shirt? What's you sniffing on my shirt? She's a mommy, darling. She's a mommy girl. And your mommy loves her. Loves her oh so much. I gotta buy you some treats, don't I, at Giant Tiger? Because all the parcels that came were going to be wrapped and put under the tree for you. Some from Rebecca and Linda and Matt and Mom stuff. And there you go. There you go. You're only getting one. Thank you. We'll see what Daddy's doing. Please stay. Thank you. My grandpa owned a fruit stand here in Florida. I'm sure I probably tried every citrus fruit ever. I bet. We could only be on speaker and see Gracie's reaction. Oh, yeah. Really, eh? It's like... Don't make eye contact. Gracie, what are you doing? Go see what Daddy's doing. Where's Daddy? Go get Daddy. She's like, I'm not falling for it. Daddy's in the bathroom. So I had a lovely conversation. So I'm going to phone and see how Mel's feeling shortly. And then I'm going to ask them if they want us to come down on Christmas Eve day, because that way we could pick up Briar and he could come with us too. It's not fair that we go down the day before when he's working. So she gives a, yeah, I see you there, she says. Hi, Denise. How are you, darling? She's like Howie, right? Howie doesn't perform. Howie just is. He does his thumbs up or whatever. That's not a performance. He'll tell the truth, right? Hey, Rosie Bernard. So, yeah, her lovely chit chat. Lovely chit chat with my. Oh, this is Trinidad. There we go. I'm rowing a boat. There we go. So, yeah, this week is officially my week off. I'm still going to be reading Little Women Live. As a matter of fact, on Thursday night, I'm doing 2 chapters starting at 8 p.m. on Thursday night. And I'm going to do my lives every single day. If we go down on Christmas Eve, I will probably do my live from the truck. So, well, thank you. My whole house is looking pretty festive. Would you like to see? Let's go have a look. I'm going to cover you so you don't get seasick because I walk like a drunken sailor. Oh! Okay. All right. I have gifts to wrap. These are all for Miss Magoo. Like, look. She knows her name, man. Hey. Get down. See? These are all have to be wrapped for Miss Magoo. And they're all still in their packages because they have names on them. See? Just Mom, Linda, and Rebecca. So here it is. Oh, I gotta show you. Let's do it from over. I'm wrapping presents this week too. I think I'm gonna need another string right in here. Yeah, it's a little lopsided, guys. I'm sorry, but look at the cards. Fire's going in the wood stove, and there it is. There was a time when I would have put garland all the way around my house. I have done it. And it was lighted. Whoops. This is the closest I get to it these days. Yes, my kitchen's not too bad. It's just I've got to finish putting groceries away. There we go. So we don't Oi. Can I have a kiss? When are you done? Oh, good for you. I'm live. Glad you had a poop. When are you going to be done? Well, I was just asking for like an ETA. Yeah, you didn't get to see. Huh? You'll never be ready to go to Giant Tiger? Oh, of course you'll never be done. What would we have to live for if everything we ever wanted to accomplish was done all of a sudden? Well, guess what? You're going to have 4 days off. Lucky you. What? What time do they close? 4 or 5? 4 or 5. Why? 5? I'll try to be ready to go by 3. You be ready to go. I'll be ready to go by 3, sweetheart. Well, thank you, Christina. Bev's last reading, the sound broke up about 11 minutes in. Try to keep an eye on the chat while reading. Well, let's just hang on a second here. Because if I have to, I don't know why the sound would break up. I record with the same thing I'm recording with now. Unless, hang on a second. Give me a second, folks. Day 9. Where's the playlists? Here we go. Okay. Give me a second here, folks.
Dear, it will please him very much and be a nice way of thanking to keep from clapping them, for this was an irresistible temptation. And she thought of practicing on that splendid
We're almost at
I'll. They needn't see or speak to anyone, but run in at any time, for I never mind. Startling, hey, as he had looked down at her kindly. I'm Beth. I love it dearly. And I'll come if you're quite sure nobody will hear me and not be disturbed. She added, fearing to be rude and trembling at her own boldness.
Oh, it was breaking up, wasn't it?
Given her.
Huh. I may have to read that again, but that was a really emotional reading. Okay, where's my chat? Okay, well, then I might have to redo it, along with the other 2 chapters. So I will probably reread it and do the 2 chapters on top of it. Sunspot during upload messed a lot YouTube that it caused static in uploads. Well, this was a live stream, though. That's what bugs me. That's what bothers me, right? So, I hope everybody is having a really good weekend. It was free motion quilting. Oh, my goodness. I left a message about the sound on the replay for you. Thing is, honey, is I don't read a lot of the chat because it distracts me from what I'm doing. And reading live is really kind of hard for me. I'm dyslexic, eh? Mildly dyslexic. I think we all are. But reading aloud is actually something that's really difficult for me. So if I started looking at the chat, I do it now. I look at the chat and I say something, or I go to, I'll be in the middle of something and I'll look at the chat and I'll answer somebody and I'll forgotten what I was talking about. So I don't look at the chat and I don't necessarily read the comments afterwards when it comes to a reading stream. I just wait for it to reset. Really? Awesome. Honey, I haven't had time when it comes to reading chapters live. I don't necessarily look at the comments all that much afterwards. I'm busy. And this week I'm going to be on my own schedule. Yes, you're going to get the daily live streams, but there's some point this week I'm making scones. That's why I'm going to Giant Tiger to get oranges. At some point this week, I'm going to make more snowballs. At some point this week, I'm wrapping presents. So I don't know what's coming or what there's a video of. Tomorrow, there's going to be a video of the groceries we bought on Friday. And after that, it's my vacation. I used to say, okay, I'm going to take January off, which I still do because January is a hopelessly crappy month for ad revenue. I don't take it off. I still show up, but I'm doing mostly live streams on across all channels for the month of January and from now until New Year's, because for once I'm gonna schedule my life so that I can enjoy the week before Christmas rather than collapsing in exhaustion after Christmas. Does that make sense? Hey, Kim Solomon. Are you still in here, dear? Can you? Okay. Did I close the wood stove? You just have to glance. Because I didn't open the bottom. I threw a stick of wood on. Well, I'm glad, Stacy. I'm glad. The lives are a lot more relaxing for me. It's not, because you got to think about it this way. When I'm recording a video, I have to set everything up so it's in the camera view, and that I'm in the camera view, and then I have to edit out anything, like if I accidentally swear or I stub my toe or spill something, I have to edit all that stuff out. So it's not just setting up and recording and actually doing what I'm recording, but it's also the editing and uploading afterwards. So this from here until New Year's, at least, is just daily live streams, unless I happen to come up with a video, which, like, tomorrow is going to be the grocery video. Well, you are here with me, Stacy. You are here with me, because where else would we be? Just because I can't see you. This is a thing I try and explain to everybody. Thank you. This is something I've been working on for a very long time. If you remember, last year it was down the basement, or the year before. And this year I decided I'm going to take everything out of here that isn't necessary and I'm going to build a backdrop. So after the holidays, when the tree comes down and the snow comes down, there's still going to be a night sky with clouds. But it's just not always going to be on, that's all. Bev, can I please have prayers, as my heart has decided to misbehave and I've been in AFib for 2 days? Why aren't you at the hospital, Candy? Why aren't you at the hospital? Of course, you're always in my prayers. Now, you are. I lift every single one of you up in prayer every night and every morning. Right after I thank God for my day, or thank God that I'm alive and I woke up above ground. Okay, so please get that checked. Go to the hospital. Okay, Candy, please go to the hospital. That's all I can say. I forgot what I was talking about. Thank you, Jess. So, I mean, just because you can see me, just because I can't see you, and I keep repeating this because you need to hear this, just because I can't physically see you, it doesn't mean that I don't have the capability of my heart seeing you. Yes, it's just, you can look at it as words on a screen, but it's not, right? Because when you talk, the way you talk, how long we've been talking, these all build up. You may not look anything like I think you. I don't even think about how you look. I see your spirit, your emotions, your intelligence, your conversation. Those give me a very clear picture of who you are that may have nothing to do with your physical, right? Hey, Rosita, how are you, darling? Anyway, I have to go. I have some things to do before Papa and I go to Giant Tiger. So I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And remember, the holidays are not something we're supposed to stress over. And this has taken me, like last night, I said to Howie, we watched this movie last night called Bad Moms Christmas. And I don't think I'd know you better than you know yourselves. Hi, Christina. But I get an idea of people who've been here for a long time, right? I don't even know if half of you are male or female. I'm afraid to ask with all this woke agendaism stuff going on. So there will be some live videos this week in the kitchen. And there will, maybe I'll go live wrapping presents. You guys don't have to see the presents because I don't want to put them on camera, but you'll see me while I'm wrapping them. So there are going to be, I'm not going to leave you completely, right? I am going to be here at some point or another every day, whether it's here, well, it's here every day, but there'll be some live streams on our Half Acre Homestead, right? So listen, know that you're loved. Know that I lift you up in prayer every single day, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right? Take care. God bless. Merry happy Hanukkah, ho, ho, ho. I think Hanukkah's over, though. Hanukkah's over, isn't it? So I love you guys. Take care. God bless. What's today? Sunday? Yeah, I'm off for the rest of the day. Well, except cooking and, regular stuff, right? I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you tomorrow. Patrons, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. All right? God bless. I love you. Don't ever forget.